Hi everyone! In this video, I want to show you step by step how I painted this loose and abstract owl. I did this piece as a present to one of my daughter's teachers for the end of the year, and I was really pleased with how it turned out. For this painting, I used quite a lot of different colors, but if you don't have these exact ones, you can use similar ones or come up with your own palette, of course. So first of all, I'm pre-wetting the whole sketch area with clean water. And I go beyond my sketch lines because I don't want paint to stop at some edge and I want it to flow and do its thing. Here I'm using yellow ochre and I'm just warming up. There's no right or wrong way here because the color is very light and it's an actual color of the owl, so it's almost impossible to go overboard with it. I created this mix of imperial purple and neutral tint and I put it in the bottom part. What I envisioned there was something like dust or fog or some kind of movement effect, so it would look like the owl is hunting and in this exact moment it's going for its prey. And I love how paint spreads here, but in the parts of the body where I don't want this effect, I go over with a clean and dry brush to pick up excess. Now I'm using burnt sienna and I basically reinforce everything I did with yellow ochre. I also put in some splats and it helps define the head without actually defining its shape, if that makes sense. With a pure imperial purple, I create random feathers, and you will see this a lot throughout this painting. I do this mostly at random, and the most important thing to keep in mind is not to create a big blob of certain color. It's much more visually interesting to me when there's an intertwine of different hues and values. That's why I introduce bold colors like phthalo blue here and alizarin crimson later on. Some splatting, I never get tired of it. Now as the body got dry, I revamped the surface and firstly add just a neutral tint. Then I go over it with imperial purple and finish off with phthalo blue just around the face. And I let these paint colors blend on the paper rather than premixing them on the palette. Burnt sienna is going to the legs and claws here. And I also use the mixture of burnt sienna and burnt umber to outline the face. A little bit of neutral tint here and there, not to make this outline very flat and childish. And then I go back to the wings because the whole surface is now dry and I can put in more paint wet on dry. I will list all the colors I'm using on the screen because there is no need for me to explain every single step here, because as I said, this painting is very expressive and the beauty of it is in randomness. Just as I said, try not to create a big blob of the same color in a certain area and you will be fine. Here I'm assessing the bottom part again. As the paint dried very light, I decided to add quinacridone purple and then spray it with water so it spreads beautifully. I also do some expressive brush strokes to create a sense of movement. Let's go back to the face. I first warm it out a little bit with a mix of yellow ochre and burnt sienna. Then I use a mix of imperial purple and neutral tint for suggesting feathers around the eye. And I also use phthalo blue around the rim of the eye. Yellow ochre and burnt sienna again for the beak, with a little bit of a neutral tint on the bottom. I go over the eye area with just a neutral tint, leaving out some highlights. Here I'm wetting the surface again because, once again, the paint dried quite light, and I dab imperial purple here and there. On this end stage, I analyze which parts of the painting need some more contrast and add colors accordingly. As a final touch, I added these lines, and to me that made a huge improvement as it indicated the wing flap and some sort of movement of air around them. So that's it. Here it is framed and ready to be given as a present. Hope you liked the video and it was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in my other videos. Bye!